Man, I'm glad Trump is president.
Excuse me?
No. Like, hear it out, all right? If Hillary was president right now, I don't think we'd be seeing the changes we're seeing in America, even if the same exact events played out.
Okay, my brain is just so completely and utterly devoid of intelligence that when you said Hillary, I thought you meant Hillary Duff, and I went back to
honestly,
2006.
If Hillary Duff was president with Taylor Swift as her running mate, we might actually be the Fourth Reich right now.
That's a Fourth Reich I can get behind, because that means it goes back to the age of Disney Channel having good content.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, with like any time she would face criticism, she'd just shake it off.
True. This episode already sucks, man.
I hate that. Welcome to the We Made a Mistake podcast, the only podcast that regrets its own existence. I'm your host, English Mike. Joining me as always is Buffoon and the fucking Zoom.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, we were all low energy before this started, and I needed something that would just like, really, really drive us all home and really activate the almonds.
Yeah.
The way he did it wasn't even the way he intended. He intended to be faux political, and instead he made me angry with a pun.
I'm sorry if my first 30 seconds are kind of crispy, by the way. I just turned my volume down. Anyway.
Extra crispy?
Crispy Mike. Crispy microphone.
Crispy.
So, as Mike was saying, we are the We Hate Anime podcast. If you're starting on episode 31, we're on 30, 31, 30?
This is 30.
This is 30? Oh, yeah, 3-0.
If you're starting on episode 30, I just have one question for you guys. Why?
Hey, we are not a podcast that is just consistent of 5 hours of inside jokes yet, so I think we're fine.
Well, we could go back and watch the episode where we talk about Mormons fist fighting over circumcision or domestic abuse. Those were good episodes. Yeah. Why start on 30?
Domestic abuse is pretty good.
I'm already calling it episode 30 is going to be a solid 4 out of 10 for us. So you guys. Sit back, probably have Red Letter Media going in the background so you can at least enjoy yourselves. Let's do this.
Just a cacophony of voices.
This is going to be a playing Titanfall 2 type episode.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man, Titanfall 2 actually makes me so angry before we get into the seasonal anime.
Is it because they're not going to make a Titanfall 3?
Partially that, but the weirdest thing is the demographic for people who like Titanfall, it's the weirdest, bridge gapper. It is people who like Battlefield 2142, so my boomer-ass millennial generation. And then weirdly enough, Frog's generation, who, I don't know, can't play a game unless it's a rhythm game, seems to enjoy it, so I don't get the player base.
I just like schmoovin', man.
There's also the people that really enjoy, people who really want a good Halo, really love Titanfall 2 as well. That's where I'm at.
But that's the thing. Halo's a good Halo. Halo Reach, great Halo. Halo 1-3, they're great Halos. ODST, great Halo.
I played Halo 3 for a little bit, and it doesn't feel
acceptable.
Anything like Titanfall. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, no, but Halo falls into the arena shooter category. Titanfall feels more like the first iteration of parkour shooter.
I do not know how to explain it to you. But Titanfall 2 feels like a Halo.
It doesn't, though, because the weapons...
people who feel me are going to feel me, and they're going to connect with my message. I can't explain it.
The big thing about Titanfall is 9 times out of 10, the guy who pulls the trigger first wins. Now, granted, there is accuracy that comes into play.
It's more about who can outmaneuver the other most of the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because Halo is more about whoever is a better shot once the fight starts, whoever can jump around more while staying accurate.
Because there's no crazy movement in that game, so you can't.
I think that's the reason. Because in Halo, the reason the fights are so engaging in Halo is because you're just doing dumb bullshit to evade being hit.
Yeah,
and that is what Titanfall 2 is.
And that's fair. And it's how accurately can you run along a wall while shooting someone. You just don't have the same health pool in Titanfall 2. I mean, one headshot does you in every time.
Pretty much.
So
but the different so I hate not Halo. I hate Call of Duty for that reason. The time to kill is so fucking
fast.
I can't. Oh, yes, thank you. Fast.
It's instant. It's whoever locks the headshot first, and most of the time my headshots are by mistake, but it's still enough to kill with any gun.
Yeah.
But in Titanfall 2, at any moment, whenever something like that happens, I have options to get out of that Like,
Yeah.
I can jump up and slide away. I can fucking slide under a door. I can fucking use my grapple to fucking schmoove.
No, and I don't disagree with you. I just Titanfall 2, I like it a lot. I genuinely enjoy it, and I am mad there's no Titanfall 3.
Yeah.
By the way, what's the player base like? Last time I played, there were 170 of us.
There's a lot
on
more
at
now
any
because
time.
of the they got on Steam and now people are playing it again.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
it is healthy as
Yeah,
fuck.
it's like got like 10K last time I checked.
nice. Apex was, and that's just what makes me mad is Apex is our Titanfall 3, and we don't deserve that.
Yeah.
My only issue with Titanfall is the fact that a lot of the Titans. I mean, there's 6 big Titans. You have the big 6, and I only ever played Legion and Scorch because that's the type of guy I am. But I don't feel like there's a ton of customization for the Titans. Like you are railroaded
There was
into
more
one
in
play
one.
style.
I
like
mean,
there was way more customization in one.
it's almost like they're
for
like
the Titans.
the Titans are kind of like hero shooters kind of characters.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. I can see that.
But I don't think Titanfall's a bad game. I'm not like this is
hell no.
this is my desire to debate people on something I actually love and make it sound terrible.
No, yeah, no, I'm
but
with you there.
I love Titanfall 2.
Same. One of the best.
I'm
If
waiting for
Titanfall 2
Battlefield.
had came out more favorably, we'd be in a different world
Yeah.
right now.
Well, here's the thing. I enjoyed Titanfall 1. I enjoy shooters that break away from the norm. I really actually enjoyed, what was it, Unreal? No, it was Quake, the latest Quake Arena that came out. I was enjoying that for about 2 months straight. That was great.
I haven't played
The
it.
one that's a fucking hero shooter?
Yeah, well, it's a hero shooter, but it feels good. It's still chaotic, like, you know.
Well, I think it's an
heroes-
arena hero shooter, which is they don't make any arena shooters anymore. So
No, and I like chaotic arena, jump shoot,
Yeah,
rockets make you go higher kind of things.
yeah, hyper
Okay.
movement stuff, just go crazy.
Yeah, and honestly, Quake, the new Quake is great. I'm really hoping that we'll see an Unreal Tournament one day, which we won't because Epic Games is just milking Fortnite for all it's worth.
Epic.
But I'm really hoping we'll see an Unreal Tournament as good as like Unreal Tournament 3 was. Because
I feel like we're going to get a new Quake before we get a new one.
we already have a new Quake.
We do?
Yes, Quake Arena. It came out in like
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah,
Oh.
the Quake
Mike-
the arena shooter.
Oh, by the way, how do you like that new hard drive I sent you?
I've not gotten it.
What? I sent
Nope,
that like
not-
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I even texted you an airway bill.
You never texted me an airway bill.
Gosh, okay. Well, all right. I will make sure after this episode that you get that solid state. That's not good.
I didn't want to question about it because
No, dude, that was your birthday present from like 3 weeks ago. You need that.
Yeah.
Folks,
And
just
my,
so you
my
know.
hard drive's getting even more fucking yesterday we were gonna record. I had to restart my computer, and it took like a minute to fucking boot up, and I was like, oh no.
You're just hearing the noises of like the fax machine as the disc reader, like the disc arm is just slamming against the disc.
I'm thinking I need to start shutting it. Either keep it on forever or shut it down more often. I'm not sure yet.
Shut it down because those discs will warp if they get too hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so shut it down more often. I know that sucks, but with platter drives, you do that. Right now, I have this case, and I've taken a picture of it. I posted on the podcast and a bunch of other things. I have this case that I could legitimately probably fit 3 computers in if I was smart about my sizing. And just recently, I've removed all hard drives from it entirely. There's just M-SATA drives on the motherboard, and that's it.
Wow.
Like, I have no excess peripherals. Everything on this computer is mounted to the motherboard, except for the radiators.
So what are we gonna do with it? Just make a fucking triple computer you can switch between with a
Well,
hotbox?
It's the cum computer.
Well, I'm actually debating, because I'm wondering if I want to buy a second graphics card. It's not as good as it used to be, because back in the day, you'd get 2 graphics cards, and the second one would be 50% more powerful. I got 3 slots to put I got 3 spots to put reservoirs and pumps, but I don't have that much room to drop fans, so I'm trying to figure out, do I want to do, 2 graphics cards with 3 pumps? How do I want to run this? This is my first world problem, is
computers do
figuring
you
out how to
have?
upgrade my computer.
Ah.
Do you have multiple computers?
I have a laptop and I have a desktop.
Oh, okay.
I am honest to God an AMD poster boy at this point. I have a Radeon 7 graphics card, and I'm running AMD processors, and my laptop is all AMD powered, so it gets up to 100 degrees Celsius. It is my personal space heater.
Whenever I put in my new processor, I was worried about like if it was hooked up properly, because I was paranoid, obviously, because I just put together a computer. So I downloaded one of those like softwares, like a simple software you can use just to check your like temperature. And I looked at it and it said 70°C, and I started having a panic attack.
Why? You have another 20 degrees Celsius before thermal throttling kicks in.
Yeah, but my brain didn't see a C, it said 70, and I was thinking in Fahrenheit, and I was like, oh god!
Fahrenheit,
Celsius is higher than Fahrenheit, Mike.
What the heck?
I saw a big number and it made me scared.
70 Celsius is like 168 degrees Fahrenheit.
Like I spent an hour trying to like figure out like, oh, is this normal? Is this normal? I was
Mike,
freaking the
you
fuck
realize
out.
like 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water, right?
No, I don't do Celsius. I'm American.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I work for a European company, so maybe that's why. But, like, it's not that hard to remember that at 0 degrees Celsius, water freezes. 100 degrees Celsius, water boils.
This is how metric
It's
works.
not that hard.
No. It may not be hard for you. My brain doesn't understand symbols.
It's not symbolism. It is just
I didn't say symbolism, you fucking cow.
It is a
See, the
different
C
unit of
represents
measurement.
the cold.
Look, okay, here's the difference between American and every other country when it comes to measurement systems. Except Frog. Apparently in Europe, you guys, or not Europe, Canada, you guys still use feet.
For some things. For height and usually for construction, we still use imperial for some reason. I don't know why. And for weight too.
Well, yeah, because weight just makes more sense. But in just so you know, Mike, this is how you do it. 0 degrees is the freezing point of water. 100 is the boiling point of water in Celsius.
Yeah.
0 degrees Fahrenheit means damn, I'm cold. 100 degrees Fahrenheit means damn, I'm hot. It is actually a unit of measurement dependent on how humans feel temperature conditions.
Oh, okay.
And they intersect at -40.
They do,
reason.
and I only know that because one time I was trying to explain to my buddy in Europe, I'm like, yeah, you know, up here in Alaska, the winters get up to about -40 where I live. And he's like, oh, what is that in Celsius? And he pauses, he goes, the hell is wrong with your country? Like, your state. I'm like, what? He's like, in Russia, it always gets this cold.
Amazing.
But,
oh, fuck.
Are we supposed to talk about seasonal anime?
Something like
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Okay,
So-
there was none. There was 0 seasonal
there was
anime.
not
this
a
season.
single anime
They're
was
practically,
seasoned.
they're, like half of the shows from last season did get like fucking delayed. There practically was 0 anime. Holy fuck.
I finished
you know,
one.
You know,
Let me-
there's one show I watched this season that I am actually offended that you and Frog have never told me to watch it. I'm so mad.
Which one?
And that's Grand Blue Dreaming.
It's I don't care.
Why would we look at it? It doesn't look interesting.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't even go out and buy the Blu-ray for Promare. Okay, I haven't bought DVDs since I bought like the Love Hina box set in 2006 and like the Trouble Chocolate box set in 2005. Grand Blue Dreaming is the first time in over a decade I've gone online and bought an anime's box set.
Cool.
My favorite thing about this show that I know nothing about is that you recommended it to someone in our Discord, Candy, and they were like, yeah, okay, I'll check it out. They watched an episode and they're like, yeah, I'm feeling this, thanks, Moth. And then like 3 episodes later, it was like, yeah, I should have listened to Mike, did not listen to you.
Well, it is, I love it. I love it dearly. It is the perfect gag anime in my opinion. It really takes like the kind of stuff Gintama does, and it's short and it's sweet, so that's why it does so well. But the
It's like
entire
a
premise is
5-minute show.
basically, it's a college diving club. And I don't know if you guys know this, but scuba diving is expensive as hell.
Yes.
Even if I have all the equipment, and God knows I'm not lugging an air tank around, to get PADI certified, which lets you dive down to like 20 meters without a problem. To get PADI certified usually is about $750 without rentals, and then rentals is about $150. And then after that, so you're paying like almost $900 to certify to do a luxury leisure activity. And then if you go cheap on the gear and you do like beach diving gear, so you don't even have like the wetsuit, you just have like a chest harness and whatnot, you're looking at like $800, and then air tank rentals, boat rentals every time you go. Like it's not cheap. And so it's a diving club in college, And the entire premise is that they're all raging alcoholics that are like broke all the time because they're all alcoholics and they have to pay for an expensive club.
Isn't this a sequel to like something just called Grand Blue though? I'm pretty sure there's a show like a year or two ago.
Grand Blue Fantasy is a actual
no,
fantasy
not
anime
Grand
based on
Blue.
a gacha.
Grand Blue. It was like a diving show. It was a couple years ago. I'm pretty sure.
Grand Blue Dreaming. But that's all it is. 2018. It came out in 2018.
Oh, okay, that was it then. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're constantly broke because they drink all the time, but they need to pay for their hobbies, and so it's basically just horrible, terrible human beings that you would never want to be, just trying to pay for their club, and it's amazing.
I don't know why you'd be mad at me and Frog for not having told you about this, because it sounds like something neither of us would watch.
Well, like the really interesting thing
by the fact
is
that none of us watched it.
A lot of people do lecherous characters in anime, like, the main character will sleep with any woman as long as they drop their pussy on him. Like, they do that. In Grand Blue Dreaming, the main character is actually given multiple opportunities to sleep with women, and he turns it down because he's like, no, I'd rather have a girlfriend and actually be in a solid relationship.
I don't understand.
He actually acts like a real human being.
I mean, some guys will want to sleep with... I mean, I don't understand. I know dudes in real life who will absolutely drop, like, get pussy if they just, like, it's just presented
they will,
for them.
But there's actually a scene, I think in episode 11, where a girl's like, so I know you got a lot of pent-up virgin frustration. Do you just want to have sex so you could feel better about yourself? And he's obviously attracted to her, but he's like, not really. I know you like one of the other guys in our team, and I don't want to ruin that and make things weird. I really actually enjoy our friendship. It's okay for me not to sleep with you. And that's baller. Like, that's baller as hell. This is like a terrible human being, by the way.
Same thing that, like, people bullied me for. You're telling me this man's baller as hell.
Frog, here's the difference. This man is actually attractive and competent.
That's fair.
Hey. My homies love Frog.
Too much.
All of them want to fuck him.
Too much.
I'm in just... It is so bizarre to me to, like, see your guys' social group, because I can't fit into your social group. I've tried, and I'm just offensive and aggressive.
Yeah,
and
you can.
No, I'm not, because I have to pretend I'm somebody I'm not to hang out with your friends, and I apologize. And then, like, I'm like, man, these guys are so, like, to me, like, you guys almost come off as, like, and you're not, but you almost come off as, like, slightly toxic, and I feel bad, because I know you're not. But to
I'm pretty
me,
toxic.
It is. And then I go into my bodybuilding groups where everyone is like, decisions are decided by your max bench. Like, if your max deadlift isn't better than the other guy, your opinion is invalidated. There was one guy who was literally telling some scrawny newbie who was trying to get into bodybuilding that he should eat nothing but protein and then eat his shit so he could retain the protein.
I don't know. Our community is just like, if someone asks for relationship advice, I just say pog under their tweet, so I don't think we're much better.
But, like, he told him, he's like, you have to eat nothing but protein and then eat your own poop so that you can retain the protein. And someone's like, dude, that's no. The other guy was like, I deadlift 600. What are you going to do about it?
Fucking Moth's like, y'all's friend group looks really toxic. Meanwhile, his friend group is like, if we don't constantly mock our homies into committing suicide, then there's something wrong with the way we think.
Dude, most of my homies are in the military, like, and I don't even want to get into the stuff happening with the military right now after what happened at Fort Hood, but, like, I kid you not, hazing is just how we show love. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's fine.
Like, when I was in the Air Force, just like that scene in Aliens 2 where they're talking and the guy looks over at the girl and he's like, have you ever been mistaken for a man? And she just looks at him and goes, have you? Like, that is 100% the military.
Got him.
I told Frog that I would sexually assault him like an hour ago. Like,
something like that.
Well, that makes sense. You're a feminist.
Yeah. Like,
wasn't that funny?
that was pretty good.
I'm sorry, that was rude.
Laughing at your own joke, like.
And we do openly disrespect females.
Oh, fuck
so
women.
I understand.
I mean, sorry, women.
Yeah, but you guys do it differently. Like, you disrespect.
We do it with the understanding that it's not serious.
Well, yeah, you do it. You do it to treat women like they're equal members of society.
Yeah.
We do it to remind them they're not.
That's the fundamental, philosophical.
But it's fine because we all hate
us.
women, guys. It's cool.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we
At the end of the day, we
hate
all
women.
beat our wives, say our prayers, and trim our loads.
I am afraid of the hell that would fall upon me if I ever hit my wife, intentional or accidental.
Unbased.
I
Beta.
beat 3 things: my wife, my meat, and Sonic
children.
Adventure 2 on the Sega Dreamcast.
Why would you wanna do
Those
that
are
to
the only
yourself?
3 things I beat.
Honestly, I still have a Dreamcast, MUD, because I think that's what the cartridges were called that you'd have the save data on with, a
Mud.
chow that I'm power leveling.
Yeah, Mud.
No, they're called, MMDs or something, mass media
Miku Miku
device.
Dance.
Gosh. Oh, man.
Miku made the Sega Dreamcast.
It's just... if there's one thing I could thank Source Filmmaker for, it was freeing us from the hell of MMD porn, so that now we can watch SFM porn.
MMD was weird.
I don't know what that is.
I think I'm actually going to learn MMD just so I can learn the basics of rigging and animation. Mm-hmm. Because at this point, I jump from hobby to hobby. I learned video editing to the point where I can competently edit a video now, and now I'm over here learning how to do my own podcast episodes for Mike so that he doesn't have to do Moth's misunderstandings.
Yes.
So.
I do not wish to understand Moth.
That's the whole point.
Speaking of which, I'm definitely going to title drop here. Episode 4 of Moth's Misunderstandings will air a week after this episode.
Something like that.
We actually have I pulled an E-celeb in so that we could talk BattleTech.
An E-boy.
An E-celeb, yeah. He's the odd one is out, but cooler.
Oh, that sounds awful. That just sounds like the worst.
He came out before Schwoozy. I don't want anybody to think that
He's the OG cartoon man.
He's so OG. He's originally on Newgrounds.
Oh, God. I mean, that's not even the OG.
no.
You want to go to the OG, we gotta go to cave paintings. Let's go.
No, we gotta go
was
to
the first
Albino
real
Black Sheep.
VTuber.
Well, here's something I didn't know. Do you know Newgrounds started in 1995?
You mean that weird new ground thing?
Well, no, it was literally just called Newgrounds, and it was because the internet was Newgrounds.
No, that is actually not why.
There's he made
It's because it was originally a fanzine for the Neo Geo.
Yeah.
Neo being new and Geo being another word for ground.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
Yeah,
Damn, Tom Fulp, I'm so glad you got away from that.
Because of SNK, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
Their first
Newgrounds
issue
exists
was
because of
Metal Slug. It
SNK.
was cool.
Yeah.
But, I always joke about this, but I actually, remember when I first discovered Newgrounds, I want to say, back in 2002 or 2001, the most popular videos and, games at the time were these crappy, Flash animations.
Yeah.
And one of them was Pong with the World Trade Centers, where on each side of the board, one of the World Trade Center towers was a paddle, and you bounced an airplane back and forth.
Classic.
I just want to say it's really good to be back on the podcast after missing the last episode. Because Moth just said some dumb shit. I was like, Newgrounds was called it because the internet was the Newgrounds. And if I wasn't here, Frog would not have corrected him.
I mean,
last episode was so insufferable to listen to because it was constant. I hated my life listening to it.
I don't know.
We need someone here to keep you in check so that your lies do not poison the world.
I didn't really keep up because I didn't pay attention half the time because that's all I do. But
yeah. Okay, so Mike, do we want to start the recap with Kaguya-sama?
Oh.
And I did not forget my promise last night. I will tell the audience right now, I did not watch Kaguya-sama. A lot of animes I don't watch, which is sad because I really want to watch Baki. A lot of animes I don't watch pretty much comes down to the fact that I watch all my shows with my wife, and if she doesn't want to watch something, it gets dropped.
Yeah, he literally cucked himself super hard.
real quick on Baki.
I don't actually watch media. That's the thing. When I'm out of town on a business trip without my wife, I'm not watching stuff.
He's watching porn.
No, I'm generally either playing games or that's pretty much it. I'm playing games or I'm painting models or working out and being racist.
Nice.
Because those two are actually mutually exclusive.
Real quick on
Actually,
Baki is because sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so real quick on Baki. This is a small thing. There was a tweet in Japanese. I couldn't read it, but that had it was from Netflix account, Netflix Japan, that had Baki and Oma from Tengen Ashura on it. And they're like,
The size, the sexual dimorphism between those two is mind-blowing.
yeah, but also that
Baki
makes it
has
think
no
like there's
neck.
gonna be some kind of cool special between them, which would be pretty sick. I'd watch the hell out of that.
I think the only good thing that came from Kengan Ashura is how heavy are the dumbbells you lift.
No, because Kengan Ashura exists, and that's the best part of Kengan Ashura.
Oh, by the way, I owe apparently the entire internet an apology. I was roasted alive in another Discord for talking about Persona 4 and tomboys in the same conversation and not mentioning that Chie is a tomboy.
Yes. Chie is the original.
I would not say that in the slightest.
Who's the original?
Chie is the alpha and the omega.
I think
kinda feel
the
like
original is probably
Ratchet
Gromp from underground cave systems back in BC 5 trillion.
No, I feel like
Grump
Ratchet
doobie-looking
from Chippendale
tomboy.
Rescue Rangers is kind of OG.
Power Rangers?
Anyway, let's talk about some
Rescue
seasonal
Rangers?
anime.
Right,
So-
Kaguya-sama.
No,
You two,
we're not going to
talk
start
about
with
it.
we're not going to start with Kaguya-sama
Rescue Heroes?
I want to start with shit that like literally no one but one of us has anything to say about, which means I'm starting with me.
So
'cause-
listeners,
Yes. So did not finish, listeners.
I got through the first episode before I was bored.
I
I
watched
don't remember what that one is. Is that the one with the mechs?
Yes, that's
Yes.
the one with the music.
That was the
and
one
mix.
that had everything going for it and failed.
Yeah, I
horribly.
didn't like that one.
So it's really not good. First, it's really weird. It feels like Eureka 7 mixed with Rave Master in that it has something interesting in it, but it is completely wasted in every way.
Nice.
Like at the end of every single episode that I watched, there's like a really cool, interestingly animated recap of the previous episode in like a new art style with like new perspective from different characters, and I think there's even a new song each time. But like,
And that's the thing. Like, there are a ton of good animes with a new song each time, like Dorohedoro.
I mean, that doesn't have a new song every time, but
The
that's
ending,
every
song,
other
the ending
episode.
song is like every other time.
it's every 3 episodes.
Something like
I
that.
thought it was every other episode.
It might be
It's
every
close.
other, but I'm pretty sure it was every 3.
There's
Anyway,
there's 6.
There's a lot of endings.
the show itself is like the first episode I felt okay about, and then I watched second episode, and the second episode is really like interesting, and the further I went into it, I was like, okay, I'm really into it. It was doing some kind of dark shit. It was hinting at some cool shit, and then like the last 5 minutes was completely and utterly boring and deflated all that cool tension, and I was like, oh
Dude, it's literally Gurren Lagann without any of the charm.
no,
No,
it's not.
what? Hang on, whoa.
It is not. You can't just say it's Gurren Lagann because there's a girl and a guy. It's more like Eureka 7.
I never watched
No,
Eureka.
it's less like Eureka 7. It's definitely more like Astro Boy. Yeah.
There is a boy, and he
I
is
mean,
absent.
he's joking, but he's not completely wrong.
I am completely wrong. I don't remember the main character being born from a scientist's regret and
Can
letting
someone
his son
cut
get
the
hit
I
by a
am completely
car.
wrong there and send it to me as an MP3? Thank you.
All right, so basically, listeners, if you've never
Garbage.
seen it, if you've never
Never
seen
watch
Eureka
it.
7, you might like it, but it's not good. But next up is another show that I watched more of than anyone else here, but we can still talk some of, and that's Wave Listen to Me.
Oh, wait. Did any of you guys actually watch Sing Yesterday for me? Because
Yeah.
this
Oh,
is what I saw.
Sing Yesterday for me. I forgot.
This is what I saw happen, okay? I saw
watched
it come
2
out.
episodes.
Everybody waifu'd Crow Girl. I saw her go strong for about 5 episodes, and then she wore a maid outfit, and she just disappeared off the face
Yeah,
of the
she
earth
just
after
wiped
that.
off the planet. No one cares.
Sing-
And that just tells me how bad Sing Yesterday is for me when crappy fan service, pseudo
Whoa,
tomboy
whoa,
weird girl.
okay. Let's not assume things.
Sing
No,
Yesterday.
it's fan service for depressed guys who listen to Joji and
Shut
cry.
the fuck up. Sing Yesterday for me is I forgot that it was seasonal because I finished watching it so long ago. That show, it was fantastic. That
so
show was
boring.
amazing. Like
There weren't even any mechs.
it had such a it had such a fucking thank you for bringing it up too because I forgot it was seasonal. That show was so fucking good. It had such a
Nobody
well-developed-
watched it, Mike. I don't know a single person aside from you who watched
I don't
more than the
care
first
if
4
no one
episodes.
watched it. Like newsflash, dirtbag. People don't watch the good shows. It never happens. Never. It always
That's
makes me
true
mad.
because I'm like one of the only people who know about Grand Blue Dreaming. So you're right. That's
See,
fair.
there you go. I mean, it doesn't sound interesting, but I didn't watch it, so I can't say.
I'm going to tell you right now, in the first 5 minutes of Grand Blue Dreaming, like the first episode, I laughed so hard I threw up.
Don't throw up. That's bad.
I didn't even laugh that hard when I watched Borat the first time.
So Seeing Yesterday for me is an incredibly mature, like, exploration of human relationships.
Is it
between
mature?
4
Does it have
different
blood?
characters.
A Fet Life.
It's also, like, insanely well animated in places. Like, why is this?
Yeah, it has a budget way too high for how bad it is.
You haven't. How much did you watch?
I watched 3 episodes before I was like, man, I really want a lobotomy right now.
Moth doesn't like anything that doesn't, like, scream at him. That's it.
I enjoyed what I saw of it, but it's not my kind of thing, so I didn't continue it. But
it was super fucking good. Like, the exploration of these characters.
Here's
and
the
their
most
relationships
depressing
were,
part
like,
about.
It wasn't depressing. Like, it was.
No,
it was
here's
the
the
exact
most
opposite.
depressing part about this anime. I actually love when we leave the high school setting. I love college guys talking and having conversations. I love grown adults talking and having conversations. And that's what happens in this anime. And yet, it's just so boring.
I mean, how do you quantify that?
I mean, yeah, sure. It doesn't have anyone. It doesn't have fart jokes. It doesn't have people exploding into blood.
It doesn't even need fart jokes. It just needs like. Here's the thing.
It is a mature exploration of human relationships that is very well done. Like the two characters that think they want to get together, and then they realize, you know, we were really just lonely and we didn't actually want to be together. So maybe we should, like, actually break up. Like, this is not clearly what we want. And they have a nice, pleasant conversation in a well-animated park bench. And it's so fucking awesome. And then they go and be with the person that they actually want to be with. And it's so genuinely great.
Just so you know, folks, this is the guy who wanted to put a Gatari anime in the top 5 anime of last decade.
I mean, did. That was number 2, I believe. Fuck
a lot of the Gatari animes are up on, like, the top page of Mouse, so that's not really saying.
And also, Katana Gatari is not a Gatari show. It just has it in the name.
It has Gatari in the title. It is a Gatari by definition.
But that's like saying Ore Monogatari is a Gatari. It's not.
It is a Gatari. It has Gatari in the
Ore
title.
Monogatari is a romance between a big meathead looking guy and a
I thought that was part of it.
shoujo girl.
Wait, is that the one where the guy, like, presses saran wrap against his friend's face to kiss him?
I don't.
They gotta stop calling all their stories Gatari so I can, like.
Let me see here.
It's the Japanese word for story.
I know, it's still stupid.
Yeah, my love story. I love this anime.
Yeah, it's a good show. I never got around to finishing it, but like they get together really soon, and I was like, "That's awesome!" And then I stopped watching.
Well, and then it just becomes relationship problems because he's a damn gorilla and she's got a gorilla fetish.
Based. Speaking of based, because it's a show about sound and radio.
Really, listeners is over. We're done talking about it.
No, I was going to talk about Wave Listen to Me, you fucking...
Wave Listen to Me is phenomenal. Everything that was bad about, what was that trash-ass anime we were just talking about? Sing Yesterday for Me? Everything that was bad about Sing Yesterday for Me is good in Wave Listen to Me.
This man said, I got a Tonka trunk in one hand and a fucking orange in the other hand, and I don't like the Tonka trunk very much.
Okay, here's the same thing. Female-centric anime about adults
except the main character in Sing Yesterday for Me is a dude. What are you talking about?
Really? Are you going to tell me that it was a dude when I see nothing but pictures of the girl?
I feel like you watched none of this. You just tried to absorb it through cultural osmosis.
So Wave Listen to Me is phenomenal because it's I think the girl really sells the main girl really sells the show in a good way.
It's a show about a girl who works in a restaurant, and she gets drunk one night, and she tells like her breakup story to a guy with a radio
show
with a recorder, and he plays it on radio, and it leads to this fucking awesome comedy of errors.
Hijinks ensue.
I haven't finished it yet, but I've watched up to episode 5. It's just so good, like from episode to episode. Like there's a great gag where she's fucking sleeping and she imagines something is she's tasting something and then a fucking turtle shits in her mouth. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I didn't
you
watch
would
very much
love
of it.
Grand Blue Dreaming.
Fuck
If you
you.
like Wave Listen to Me, you would love Grand Blue Dreaming.
It feels, I don't know. I can't say.
Oh, by the way, Mike, it took 53 minutes, but I finally finished editing that 1 hour and 40-minute Moth's Misunderstanding episode. It's been compressing the entire time we've been talking.
Nice.
Nice.
Why'd you put effort
Yep.
into it? That's cool.
So here's the thing, though. This episode of Moth's Misunderstandings is not only recorded at 30 frames per second, but is in full 1080p.
It's gonna be a nice thumbnail image the whole time. Nice,
Speaking of Moth being a dumb stinky head, why don't you tell us about one of your dumb stinky shows like Eighth Son?
I'm so mad I watched this. If this
I'm
was
mad
any
you watched
other-
Eighth Son.
If this was any other season, I don't think I would have watched it at all, because this is this is like when everybody's like, instead of an isekai, why not just tell a story of a kid with powers?
Yeah.
That's exactly what Eighth Son is. The whole
it's still
isekai
isekai.
aspect of it fell through the floor within the first 2 episodes.
That's what all isekai are. They don't even bother like being isekai.
No,
they just want to
because,
say
like,
it because it gets
Overlord-
views.
Overlord at least reminds us frequently that it's an MMO.
Except it doesn't matter.
No,
Yeah,
but
it-
he
it
burns
tries
items that
to
he'll
make it
never
a
get
part of the
back.
show.
Like, he burns cash shop items. He actually says, he's like, I hate doing this because I don't have that many cash shop items. As he's, like, actively burning through his inventory.
God, I hate Overlord.
Like, I completely agree. I think, like, the worst one in my mind was this show called Knights and Magic. I don't know if, like, people really liked it when it came out, but it was literally the first episode, a programmer, a guy who liked making Gunpla, got hit by a car, and he woke up as a Shota in a fantasy world, and the magic system just happened to be based on programming.
Wait, is this the... Oh, man, I know exactly what this anime is, because my wife and I tried to watch it for, like, 30 seconds and just gave up.
It's really bad, but, like, the mecha designs are good, but it's still really bad.
So Eighth Son really drops the whole isekai premise 2 episodes in. I mean, they kind of reference... like, here's the problem. It's a grown man acting like a child. And I know Rick and Morty kind of covered the whole, like, well, you know, childish hormone imbalances and whatnot will cause you to act weird. But, like, he can't rationalize like a functional adult at all. So it doesn't come off as an isekai. Sure, he learns how to make rice and miso at one point, but, like, it's so bad. And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just like, why? I think I was like at episode 7, I was like, I want to stop watching this, but there's literally nothing else this season. And I just, alright, whatever, I guess I'll just watch this.
Guess I'll
it's
die,
bad,
then.
don't watch it.
Yeah, it's just, when I watched, I think I only watched the first episode, that first episode's so fucking boring.
Now, here's an episode. This show, by the way, if you guys criticize this show, you are no longer LGBT allies. I just want you to know that.
Well, I am the B in LGBT, so
I'm the based in
you will lose that status if you talk negatively about this.
I will
anime.
become straight.
My Life is a Villainess. It is one of the
Okay.
first big animes to have an asexual main character.
Okay.
I
In
can
a
think of
romance.
lots of shows.
That's
In
that-
a
wait, no,
reverse
hang on. There's
harem.
tons of those.
Yeah.
No, it's an asexual
Dragon
in a reverse
Ball.
harem. I'm pretty sure Goku is gay for Vegeta. I'm just to be real with you here.
No,
Vegeta
he's gay
doesn't
for
know what
Broly.
sex is.
Broly is what
He's pretty
awakens
much-
his sexual drive.
Goku also doesn't know what sex is.
That's true.
You know-
I'm pretty sure his wife just stuck a needle
Yeah,
into his balls while he
legit.
slept.
Like, he
in
did
Super,
not.
in a Super, it establishes that she raped him.
Does it really?
Yeah. No, in Super, he was like, how'd you even get your kids, Goku? And he's like, I don't know. We like hugged for a while. Like, it's pretty sus.
I know he tells Vegeta, he's like, wait, you kiss your wife with your mouth?
Yeah. That too.
But
You
no,
kiss your
so
wife with that mouth.
My Life as a Villainess is actually one of the isekais that really runs with the fact that it's an isekai, because it's about a girl who wakes up in a visual novel she played, but she is the main bad guy in the visual novel who gets killed no matter what route she goes down. So the entire premise of the show is she's just trying not to die.
Isn't this just ReZero?
No, ReZero is bad.
Yeah, but he dies
yeah.
all the time.
I don't even remember anything about ReZero.
He dies a lot. That's
Yes,
the
well,
show.
she's trying to avoid death. And it's actually very heavily implied that one of her friends gets isekai'd into the world with her.
Just like real life.
But it's basically her just trying to avoid death, and she does phenomenally, and it's really good because it carries it all the way to the end. It carries the fact that it's an isekai. It carries her character. It's really, really solid if you actually want a good isekai. It's not quite as good as Uran High School Host Club, but it's close. Uran is just the only anime I can compare it to, really.
Yeah, that's the closest thing I could think of to like just the way it looks. Was never interested in it though. That's like the big negative. I saw it and I was like, okay, that looks like a thing that exists.
No, I've talked about two things now. Can we just shake it up? Mike, do you want to talk about Brand New Animal?
Hell yeah, I want to talk about Brand New Animal.
I'm a clock out for about 5 minutes. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'll get to it.
Alright, everybody. Do you like furries? Do you like Bara wolf people?
Did you enjoy Hightail Halls as a kid?
Do you enjoy the entire plot structure of Pro Mare, but wish that the main character was actually a girl and guy pairing?
No.
Well, too bad. It's actually lesbian girl. We got Brand New Animal. It's literally just Pro Mare. It's just Pro Mare. It is just Pro Mare. But it's Pro Mare with with a few Kill la Kills episodes in there, and I don't mean that like big fancy. It is not a bad show.
I like,
but it is a fun watch. Good. There are episodes in there that are totally worth it. But man, is it just Pro Mare? Hey, that one human character. What do you think the twist with him is?
It is not actually Pro Mare at all.
Is he actually animal?
Fuck you! It is just Pro Mare.
No, it's not, because Pro Mare is charming and fun to watch.
Yeah, being is pretty fun.
So is it. Yeah.
It's good.
So it's Brand New Animal. Brand New Animal is really, like...
I don't understand how you can like Pro Mare and not like BNA. It's just the same thing.
Here's the thing. Aside from the mayor in Pro Mare, nobody is a miserable character. And this was my issue with the first 6 episodes of Brand New Animal.
What are you talking about?
Miserable.
What is...
They are literally underclass citizens that have to build their own fucking society away from people.
And they do that by completely taking down their pants and pooping on each other.
Okay, that was in the very first episode. They were having a fucking.
I was 6 episodes in, and they were still pooping on each other.
What are you even talking about?
Like, even her friend, like, hey, I reunited with my friend. And yeah, that's an interesting subplot, the fact that her friend enjoys being, hey, I'm the goddess animal. But, like, it's just, everybody's miserable. I actually kind of felt like the best way... You just said they weren't
miserable.
You know the end of Evangelion where Shinji's, like, crouching under the stairs waiting for somebody to shoot him in the head? That's kind of how I felt this anime should have ended with the raccoon chick. Because it was like, let's crap on this poor girl for an entire show.
What are you talking about?
I don't understand.
What television show did you watch?
What makes zero sense.
Here. Let's try to murder her as she seeks refuge in a different city. Let's rob her blind using human trafficking as she tries to get into the city. Let's steal her wallet. Let's sell her for human trafficking.
I'm sorry. Are you made uncomfortable by visually seeing what it's like for a minority to try and enter into a state?
No bad.
That's not what I'm getting at all.
No serious themes ever. You can't ever have them.
You know, here's the thing. I could be charitable and I can deal with these realities. I'm not one of those people who need to be woken up by a show about fluffy animals telling me how hard it is for other people.
It's just a cool story.
You were.
This is like the weirdest interpretation because it doesn't have anything to do with it.
Well, Mike's over here. Oh, Moth, are you made sad by the fact that you have to see what it's like to be a minority? Like,
yeah, that's
no, I'm trying to argue your point. Like, I'm aware of these situations in real life. I don't want to watch an anime about them because I'm not sitting in some lofty high tower pretending everybody gets along in my cotton mill.
What?
Mike just shut down.
Just gonna let that fart just linger in the air so we can all enjoy the whiff. That's bad. That's a dumb. Dumb. You're dumb.
Here's the thing. It's almost as miserable as Evangelion was.
What miserable?
It is.
What are you talking about?
Everybody is miserable. Nothing good happens in that entire anime.
What are you talking about?
You literally just didn't watch the show.
Yeah. He saw that her getting into the Anima City was a little difficult, and he was like, this is what the show is.
No, I watched the first 6 episodes up until the point where her friend was like trying to convince her to join a cult. And I'm like, man, I already did this for 2 years. I don't need to watch this.
There was the fantastic the baseball episodes in the first 6. God, that's
even the
that's
baseball
best
episode is miserable because it just talks about the fact of rigging baseball betting, the fact
so
that
cruel.
sports are rigged,
so heavy.
It's cruel and it's dark and it's depressing and it's talking about crushing people's dreams frequently. Honestly,
how are you talking about a trigger show and calling it depressing? I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's the trigger shows are the literally the most
Moth,
uplifting.
We are
shit.
at the level where you're saying this show is depressing because real world things happen in it.
I don't understand.
Yes.
Every trigger show has these same elements. You can say the same thing about Promare.
No, Promare was fine.
You can say the same thing about Gurren Lagann.
Yes, it was fine.
In the Gurren Lagann, they're literally mole people who are oppressed by fucking furries.
Yeah.
No, that's not what happens at all.
What? Did you watch Gurren Lagann now?
I can't believe you're calling it Gurren Lagann. It's Gurren Lagann.
That's what I said?
No, you're saying Lagann or some stupid crap.
Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann, Lagann, same thing.
Oh, it's just... There's nobody to root for in that show. I think that's the worst
What are you
part.
talking about?
The protagonists.
There is not a single character.
There is a
saying things.
plucky Tanuki girl on the screen at all times who has a peppy energy and who wants to improve society.
When are you going to stop just saying words and just...
Moth is just stringing fucking... He literally is like, okay, I'm going to open up enough cans of tomato soup today to see how many letters I can make sentences out of. Oh shit, I've run out of letters for the day. I guess I should just start combining the fucking letters together, and that's his brain.
Well,
his
you
brain
guys can't stay on a coherent thought. I'm like, hey, I don't like this. Mike starts rambling.
You haven't said anything that can apply to the show yet, because all you said it's sad, when it's literally a very uplifting and cheery show.
There's
with
nothing uplifting about it.
Wow, okay.
Literally shitty people being
the
people.
main character is literally one of the most happy-go-lucky characters, and she occasionally has fucking moments where she's like, oh man, not everything is good. What is this?
Man, there's shows like freaking Kaiji out there that deal with the problem of gambling addiction. And
the show isn't
Kaiji was great
the show isn't even far politically one way or another. It's very centrist. It's a very centrist show. I don't understand this idea of where it's so sad because occasionally a real thing happens.
I don't need to watch it. I really don't. And you guys
you don't
trying
need
to
to
tell
watch
me
anything.
why I'm small brained for not enjoying something is blowing my mind.
There's a difference
enjoying it. I'm because your criticisms don't make any sense.
Yeah, there are tons of things I don't like, but I can articulate it in a way that makes sense. You're just saying
I can articulate it too. Everything that happens in that show is a miserable turn of events where things go terrible.
Can you name one that isn't the first episode?
Yeah, the whole episode where her friend is like, hey, I want to go visit the other people in the human side.
Yeah.
And it just, her friend then gets taken advantage of the moment everybody realizes she's a seal.
Okay, but the whole rest of the episode...
The thing about that episode is that episode is very clearly an allegory for, people who have wealth privilege who are also part of minority classes. And it's really interesting to explore that.
And it's really miserable.
Yeah, because surprise!
Here's
life
the
is
thing.
miserable
Every time
for
I
minority
tell
people.
you about something and I say it's miserable, you say yes, and then you ask me to articulate.
But you're saying the entire show is miserable. It has aspects that are
even
real.
the most cheerful episodes are miserable, like the baseball episode.
I don't
There's
understand how this is
nothing
more
that episode is
miserable
hype.
than
That episode's
anything
good.
else. What's the more miserable? This or I don't know. I'd say Gurren Lagann is probably more miserable than that show.
I don't see how Gurren Lagann is miserable at all.
Gurren Lagann has an entire arc where Simone is depressed.
Yeah, and that's the worst arc in the show. But you know what? It only lasts 2 episodes, not 12.
So we're just discovering that if anything is not happy at all times, Moth checks out.
We've been doing this podcast for over a year now, and you just established this.
No. I just thought it was when you think something is arbitrarily boring. I didn't realize it was also when something isn't happy.
Yeah, I mean, have we talked about my favorite animes? I literally just spent 10 minutes rambling about Grand Blue Dreaming. There's not a single depressing scene in that entire anime.
I don't know anything about that show.
I mean...
You like Sarah's and Mai. That show has a depressing shit in it.
Oh, fucking...
There's nothing depressing in Sarazan.
What are you talking about?
The whole show is about anxiety.
No, it's the show is fine. The only semi like down sad thing is the scene where his brother realizes that he's not actually this trap idol.
What about when he dies in his arms?
He doesn't.
What? You don't remember what show you watched?
He did. He literally, like, that happened.
Oh, I'm talking about the other kid. The emo kid, I mean.
Yeah, with his brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I wrote him off as Sasuke, so I feel no emotion towards him.
Show's fine as long as you just don't think about the parts that you don't like.
Exactly. Here's my biggest issue. I don't live in a good part of my city in Anchorage, and I'm trying to change that. Like, I can't walk down the street without, like, a homeless man having, like, a withdrawal spasm on the side of the road next to me. And so I see all this depressing stuff all the time, and I try to do everything I can to, like, improve the world around me. So I don't want to sit down and watch a show about a group of oppressed minorities and people struggling to survive when I can look out my window and see the same thing without Noah's Ark allegories.
But Kaiji's really good.
I never expected to ever, like, breach on the conversation of, like, the privilege of escapism, and we're not doing it today, but boy, it's here. Let's talk about something else that's escapism. Let's talk about Tower of God. Tell us about how this show's bad.
No, I don't want to talk about Tower of God.
Tower of God has one of the greatest twists. If you've read the webtoon, you already know what I'm talking about. But it has one of the greatest twists at the end of the season I have ever seen, and I absolutely love it.
At the end of the season, they say, it was all a dream.
It was all a dream! So apparently, I've heard from people who've actually read the manga that it actually does get better.
I mean, people who read that manga and will tell you it gets better are the people who read that manhwa, so I don't believe them.
It's a shonen, though. Like, that's the thing. At the end of the day, Tower of God is a shonen that follows the Hunter x Hunter route, where people learn how to control their weird abilities while trying to obtain an arbitrary goal run by another organization.
Like, I don't like Hunter x Hunter, but even that show goes to lengths to establish its world and characters.
Yes, and so does Tower of God. In fact, part of the reason Frog was so confused is they're actually intentionally holding their hand. Like, they're holding their cards to their chest so they can explain more about the world. You can't say holding,
they do it in a very frustrating way. I'm fine with that, but they don't make it obvious that anything's happening. You can't
keep information from the audience if that
absolutely can.
No,
Naruto
you need to
did
listen
it for
to
years.
me. You need to listen to me, Moth. I'm not saying you can't do it ever, because obviously you can. There's a show from next season that does it really well. We're going to talk about next week. But you cannot... If keeping that information from the audience makes the setting less interesting, then you're doing a disservice to your own work.
I think Attack on Titan is
a good example. It's not making the setting less interesting. If they actually sat down and explained the actual tower, it would eat up like 3 episodes. Rather, they do it organically, and they make you and the main character.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
This world.
You don't have to do everything at once.
Explain the tower. You have to establish the tower.
Yeah, the tower is like literally nothing at the start, and I don't understand what it's supposed to.
No, but this is great because the main character, and you got to let me get through my metaphor on this one. The main character is very much like Link. Link gets, and this, I'm going to go straight into Ocarina of Time. Link leaves his happy little hole in the wall, and he enters this new world, and nothing makes sense around him. And that's you as the player. Like, Link has no foreknowledge of what's outside the forest. He just leaves the forest one day. He's like, crap, there's skeletons coming up out of the ground and stuff.
Yeah, but you can, like, reasonably infer a lot of things based on good writing.
Yes, you can even, and that's the thing. Tower of God actually sits down and does that in the same way that as you explore Hyrule, you learn about, everything that's going on in Hyrule.
Moth,
the main character is getting relevant knowledge and information.
Moth, your analogy is completely broken down because we are talking about a video game in which there is something other than the story and a TV show in which there is story. Like, I can play the game and set my own pace and have fun just battling Coolas.
But what I'm saying though at the end of the day is our job as the viewer in Tower of God is to be in his position, the main character whose name I can't remember because honestly they all have stupid names.
I even remember his name's Ban because he's a bad character, but even I remember his name and you watched the whole show.
Right. But I just know him as Gon.
Why?
But here's the thing. We as the audience are supposed to put ourselves in his shoes, and he's learning information at a relevant pace for what he's doing
Moth,
in the
how
show.
did you
and
put
that's
yourself
why-
in his shoes when you
First
can't
of
even
all,
remember his name?
I can buy being in his shoes, but the thing is, it tries to put you in his shoes by showing that he likes a girl and she gone now, and I don't know anything about her, and all of a sudden I've disassociated completely from the character like right away. You've already lost me.
Like you put him in the setting and you establish his goal, but it did not establish the setting or why that goal matters.
Yeah, that's basically it. Because like it's just like okay, you can predict on a character. That's like what most shows will do. Like maybe if you want to discover a place, you can predict on a character about their curiosity of the world or anything. And well, first of all, he didn't present any of that in episode 1. He just kind of went along with everything that happened without questioning anything.
But they established that's actually his character, because even when he's chilling with this chick, like that's all that's happening.
They
How am I supposed
established
to
that his
predict on
character
him about
is
his
just
curiosity?
to do
Because he doesn't have any
like
curiosity.
nothing.
No, that's it. That's it.
Then how do I predict on
Bam
his
is
character?
not a good character. He is the worst character, and every other character around him is better than him. You're actually just like
That is
he
boring.
is supposed to be an empty vessel.
That's not good.
For a narrative, for a series with a narrative, if your main character is literally just the fucking mayo, that's not a good thing.
I'm tired. I talked about Tower of God for like 4 weeks straight. Let's-
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, that's it for seasonal wrap up, though.
Oh,
I mean,
except we did
got
not
the-
get to talk about Kaguya-sama, baby.
yeah, Kaguya-sama.
Oh yeah, Kaguya-sama. They watched it. I didn't. I have nothing negative to say about it, so I'll let them take it away.
Kaguya-sama season 2 is proof that comedy shows are astronomically better at having like really well done dramatic moments than most dramatic shows.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Episode 11 is fantastic.
Yeah, every from 7 to 11 I think is probably where it's and the first episode's so fucking good too. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. First episode, I watched that one with Mike actually. We were watching the first episode together. And
like the only like negative things I have to say about Kaguya-sama season 2 is that they introduce like a pretty interesting character, and they do nothing with her outside of like her introductory moment.
she has a gag that she does a lot.
Her gag is that she walks into the student council because she's a new student council member. She walks into the student council, and oh no, Kaguya and Presidente are looks like they're gonna bang.
Raw dogging.
They're what?
Yeah. Well, Moth.
I said the raw dogging.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, and then she closes the door and goes away. There's even like a moment where that happens, and they don't draw attention to it at all. Like
Yeah.
she just opens the door and then closes it
Yeah,
immediately.
that was a good gag. That was funny. Because it was like a background joke.
Yeah, if that's the only negative thing I can say that they didn't do enough with a single character, that's a pretty good season.
I mean, my favorite thing is that Ishigami, who was the best character of the last season, is continuing to be the best character in this season.
Moth, we learn why he disrespects women. It's the best.
It's so good. And oh man, I don't want to spoil it because everyone hasn't seen it, but maybe I should just say spoilers. Should we say spoilers?
Do it.
Okay.
Do it. Let's
Okay,
go.
spoilers. The episode 11 is like Ishigami's big lore dump episode, where earlier on in the season, it's established that he got like, well, I think maybe even in season 1, it's established that he's pretty not respected by a lot of people.
I'm pretty sure it was only in season 2. Like,
Maybe. Well,
like
no, in
where
season
he's
1,
not-
in season 1, it's established he's
Season
not
1 it
respected, but in
established he's a
season
loner.
2, it's established that there was someone behind it, right?
Yeah.
It was like some girl apparently who people say he stalked, but we learn in episode 11 of season 2 that it was less him stalking a girl and him standing up for a girl with an abusive boyfriend.
Yeah,
And,
he had recorded porn of her and was cheating on her, and he tried to use that porn, and Ishigami found out, and he tried to use that porn to blackmail him to not say anything. Otherwise, he would
gets
release
pretty
that
serious.
revenge porn.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and
So
when
but basically, when he gets caught in the act of beating the shit out of the boyfriend, and everyone starts like, and the boyfriend's like, "Oh, how could you? Oh,
you just wanted to date my girlfriend, you meanie."
you stalker!" Yeah, and then that whole shit starts, and then it zooms back to the present. and it kind of goes back and forth, obviously, as these episodes tend to go, with like a current moment coinciding with like memories.
And the entire arc, like before that and this episode, is that Ishigami joined the cheerleading squad for the school festival, and it's the first time he's allowed himself to actually like experience school life with normies, as he says.
Yeah.
And he's showing them that he genuinely cares, and he just had like a bad rap, but people still judge him for it. And there's this great moment where the girl that he was accused of stalking shows up to like the big event where he has to take the place of like the Chad who injured his leg, who probably didn't actually injure his leg. I think he did it on purpose because he seemed fine later. But he's gonna do it, and he has so much anxiety, and the fucking president comes up, puts the thing on, and it's like, you need this headband to know what team you're on, motherfucker. So he steps up to the plate, and that girl who accused him of stalking is in the crowd, and he's like, I'll never forget what you did! And he just, he looks at her, ties the headband back, and says, shut the fuck up, dumbass.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's so fucking great.
Yeah.
Disrespecting women. It's good.
And then he runs, and he doesn't win, but but it's okay, because everyone hugs it out, and then it's good. It's very good. Also, a small detail is that during the entirety of him joining the cheerleading thing, that whole arc, he doesn't see any of their faces.
It's
he
such
doesn't
a
really
good...
he doesn't really think of them as real people. I guess he's just kind of normies that exist around him. But after that, he kind of the faces like appear on them because he understands like, no, these are people that like, even if they're not like into the same stuff I am or different. I mean, they're still cool dudes and stuff, which is cool visual thing.
And that is
visual
storytelling.
Hey. Anyway, Kaguya season 2 is fantastic. Go watch.
It is easily the anime of the season. It was beautiful, and I don't like gag and comedy anime that much. It was great. I
laughed my ass off.
So, and it was funny as fuck too. That's the best part. Like, you can go into there and you can just have a good time.
That's that. I had nothing to say about it, so I was quiet the entire time.
Quiet. Moth is cursed.
Chica is garbage, and I can only assume she's worse than this season.
Chica's the best.
Chica's pretty great.
There's a good moment when she's super excited and she just like does this thing where she makes like a V with her body and she does a jump over and over. It's super cute. She's good.
She is such a
By
narcissist.
the way, do we get an ending as good as the Chica dance in this season where they just randomly decide to animate something dumb?
I don't
really
think there was
wish.
any different endings.
There
would have
was
been cool.
There was no different endings.
No.
So this episode's going to run a little bit short. So Mike has agreed to allow me to tell you guys a Moth story.
Oh, fantastic.
I mean, you tell them on every single episode. You don't have to.
No, but this one is spicy. This is the chorizo of Moth stories.
So it's only spicy to white people?
I guess, yeah, because it has to deal with Brazilians. But fun fact, I kind of live in my happy little gremlin hole, and I like it when people don't come into my gremlin hole. I really enjoy playing stuff like Counter-Strike Go, not because I'm good at shooters, but because that community hasn't changed in 2 decades. They're just toxic monsters. And you can log in and you can just play ranked matches with a PP Bison and have your team rage at you for using a submachine gun the entire time. And that's what I do. And then I pretend I can't speak English and I'm Russian too, and it drives them nuts. And this is the kind of stuff I do. I got a friend, I met him playing PUBG, and this is segueing into the actual story. I met him playing PUBG. His name's Wicked, and he's Argentinian, and that's very important for another point in the story. And I gotta clarify, South Americans are the most racist human beings on the planet, but they're only racist against other South Americans. And I found out this is something that is actually very common in countries that aren't America. Like, Pakistanis and Iraqis can't get along either. But in South America, a big point of contention is Argentinians versus Brazilians. In fact, I would actually say it's pretty much Brazilians versus everybody but Germany.
I hear about that because we have a Brazilian friend, Enzo, in the server.
Yeah, so like it's pretty much like Brazilians versus the world, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. Like, they're the #1 murder capital on the planet.
I think that's
like,
true.
Don't mess with Brazilians.
Brazilia's pretty messed up.
But he my Argentinian friend always calls like Brazilians monkeys. Like he always like he's very racist. He's like, oh yeah, they're monkeys, Moth. They'll tell you they're white. They're not white, Moth. Don't listen to them. They're not white. And I'm like, are you white? He goes, no, I know I'm not white. He goes, but Brazilians think they're white. They're not white, Moth. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, hey, Moth, you want to hear a funny joke? And I'm like, what's up, Wicked? He's like, why do Brazilians like Dragon Ball Z so much? I'm like, why do Brazilians like Dragon Ball Z, Wicked? And he goes, because the main character's a monkey just like them. And it's just, this doesn't stop. This is his hatred for Brazilians.
Just constantly.
Yes.
It's just like a faucet that won't turn off.
Yeah, and I love it. Wicked is one of my best friends on the planet, and I love this man.
Jeez.
And so we occasionally play Rainbow Six Siege, and the issue is I'm up in Alaska and he's in Brazil, and Siege localizes by region. So either he gets 200 ping or I get 200 ping, and he's better than me. So often I play in the South American servers because it's better. So
Right.
we're playing Rainbow Six Siege one day, and we end up with a team of like it's 5 stack because 5v5, and so it's him and I and 3 Brazilian friends who are all together. And he can apparently tell by their accent that they're Brazilian, even though they're both speaking Portuguese.
Yeah, I think there's
And
like
he's
some more
sitting there,
dialect stuff or something.
Yeah.
There's accents.
And he's like,
Yeah, that too.
he messages me in private. He's like, Moth, just so you know, we're playing with the monkeys. He's like, don't worry about it. Like, and these guys are carrying us. Like, dude's running around with a character who's got a 50 caliber sniper rifle, like clearing buildings in the hallway when you're supposed to be outside. And my buddy is just ripping into these guys. I'm like, dude, Wicked. Like, you don't need to rip into these guys. Like, these guys are great. Like, they're amazing. Like, they're carrying us. Let's keep teaming up with them. And so, like, Wicked never drops that he doesn't like these guys. And it's fine. I'll respect my friend's decision. But I still play with these guys from time to time because I love them. And they are the most riotous, angry human beings on the planet. And everything they say is just the most... If I said this, I would get curb stomped. Like, if I said half the stuff these guys say... And so they figured out I was white pretty quick, and they all loved me for it. They're like, "Oh man, Moth, we're white too, not like the Portuguese." Like, he's like, "We're not like the Argentinians or the Mexicans. We're white, brother. Yeah." And they're like sending me selfies of them, like obviously with the fucking contrast cracked all the way up, so that they look like white in the pictures. Like, they're doing everything they can to convince me that they're white, and then like they're like, "So where are you from, Moth?" I'm like, "Well, I'm from America." He goes, "Well, where's your family from, Moth?" And I'm like, Germany. He's like, "Oh, that's so cool. My grandpa was from Germany too." And I'm like, you need to talk about your family history, bro.
I don't know about that one.
Is your last name Mengele? I just need to know. But I'm like, yeah, my whole family's like from Germany. Like, I'm pretty Slavic because the ones who aren't from Germany are from like the actual those areas. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm German too." He goes, "Hey, screw the Jews, am I right?" Ooh. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there, I'm trying not to have a stroke as these guys are like going off on everything. He's like, "Yeah, man, you keep all your money under your mattress so the Jews don't touch your cash." I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, I'm sitting here just like trying not to die. And I'm like, this is, and it doesn't stop. Like, these guys, every time I log into the Discord and play with them, like one of them, when I first came in and he knew I was white, he's like, "Hey, Moth, you know I'm white, but I could be whiter, Moth." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Can we keep this in?
Tell you. No, we're going full like nuclear at this point. Mike can put a trigger warning. He's like, after we're done with the seasonal review, Moth goes on a rant. You don't want to hear it. God. But he's like, "I could be whiter, Moth," and I'm like, "I'm sure you could." He goes, No, listen, man. He goes, "My sister's super hot, man." He goes, "You come to Brazil, you knock up my sister, you leave.
Come to Brazil.
Don't worry about child support. You just leave, Moth." And he's like, he goes, "And then my sister have the whitest baby in Argentina. He could be the mayor of Rio de Janeiro." He's like, if the baby's white enough, he could be the governor even. And he's like going on and on about this rant. I'm like, okay, that's cool. How old's your sister? And he's like, "Hey, she's 16, man, but she's got tits like a 25-year-old.
Jesus.
And I'm sitting here and I'm like, what the hell is happening? I'm like, no, man, I'm really okay with that. He goes, No, I'll tell you what, man, I get her super drunk. She doesn't even remember you have sex with her. It's fine. You don't have to pay child support.
Oh, I don't know what this one meant.
And I'm like,
is this man a Brazilian eugenicist?
I mean, apparently.
Like, you told me your daughter or your sister is 16 years old, and you're like actively trying to pimp her out to a guy you only met online because I'm German.
Yes.
And like, every time I get into a call with them, it's something else. He's like, "Hey man, you like cow women from the animes, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Tell you what, I'll buy her a rubber cow mask. You just fly down to Brazil."
What the fuck?
I'm like, "Does your sister know about this?" He goes, "Yeah, she gets so mad when I tell her you're not coming, man."
I mean, she does want to hear that you're coming. That's true.
I can't handle this, and I love playing. I love playing Rainbow Six with these guys because it's every time I get into that voice call, it's a brand new experience. It is something like, just when I think I've sunk into the lowest level of like human depravity, I jump into a call with these guys, and it just goes lower. Like, stuff that I would have never imagined saying in 100 years, these guys just say casually and then laugh about. Oh, my favorite story, Mike. I don't know if I told you this one. But they were posting, like, weird, like, barely 18 porn in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
And they were tagging me. They're like, "Moth, you like this? You like this, Moth? You know, this is totally legal in Brazil." And I'm like, "No, I don't, like, I don't actually know if this is okay. And, you know, I prefer older women. Like, I got a thing for women who are older than me. Like, that's always been my kind of, you know." And he goes, "Oh, I get it, you gay boy." So then they just start posting nothing but guys riding other dudes' dicks for like 20 minutes straight.
Now you're sounding like our friend group.
There we go.
Like, they just tag me in gay porn for like 20 minutes straight.
Honestly, there's not that much of a difference between our friend group and yours.
That's what Nicole does to me, like, on a daily.
The main difference is the racism's ironic.
It's like it's the most true and pure. Like, if you were to actually be able to like chemically extract racism and like boil it and turn it into like a consumable like crack rock that you can smoke, those men are capable of producing that amount of racism.
Just like a toothpaste they can just brush on their teeth every day. Just spit it out like
I'm going to be honest with you. The Aryan Brotherhood's got nothing on these men.
I believe in Brazilian supremacy.
And with that, I think this has been the we hate anime podcast, the only podcast that believes in Brazilian supremacy and eugenicism. I've been your host.
I think that's actually the entire population of Rio de Janeiro.
I'm your host, English Mike. You can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is at AniMaikeru. That's let me load, you piece of crap.
ANIMAIKERU. ARU. I'm smart.
Oh, before we close the episode, though, I actually added a dilemma with my Twitter at this point.
Yeah.
And this is like to kind of to swab our mouths of like this horrible story I just told. I'm at this really weird dilemma because on one hand, I enjoy having a Twitter for just like mindlessly screaming at the wall, which is pretty much all my Twitter is me screaming at the wall.
Same here for the most part, I think.
But the other thing is like I'm trying to get recognized as a serious like hobby painter in the Warhammer community and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there's not a single painter who's like Twitter verified or otherwise who is going to retweet any of my stuff if they check my log and just see that I was like tweeting pedo bears a smash me.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would actually be completely fine.
I don't know. Most people don't give a crap about that, especially because Smash is a. Oh man, let's not talk about Smash right now.
No, let's talk about Smash. Like the episode ain't over. Let's talk about.
Let's not.
I mean, hey, if you want, we can talk about the FGC burning down. That'd be fine. That'd be dandy. That'd be lemon candy.
We can maybe do that next week or something. I don't know.
I'm just glad Skullgirls is not getting an Evo anymore.
Why? Skullgirls is a good game.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
It is mechanically an amazing game. But there's not a single character I want to play.
I mean, that's fine, but the game plays what you come to fight game.
Here's the thing, like, I only ironically joke
I mean, I'm with you there, though. I'm not a fan of the characters.
I don't actually want to beat women.
Oh, that's what you mean. Never mind. What the fuck? Who cares? It's a video game. That's the only safe space us gamers are allowed to beat those.
Two of the coolest characters are dudes, though.
Yeah, also Big Band is
Big Band and Slappy McDicks.
Beowulf is fucking awesome. I love him. He's my
favorite.
That's what he is. Big Band is the coolest. I love Beowulf. Yeah. He's my particular brand of like dumb fucking fight wrestling guy.
You know what he looks like? I'm looking at a picture of him because I've actually never seen Beowulf in my life.
Who?
He looks like something a girl who's like on Tumblr and she draws like all these hideous women. It's like accept women at all sizes, and then this is her husbando.
I kind of know what you're talking about.
Like,
I would let Beowulf sit me down in a chair. That's all I'm saying.
no, like Beowulf is a great character. I'm looking at pictures of him right now. Like, there's nothing.
Did you just
wrong
not
with
know
him,
he existed?
But he just stinks of like Tumblr.
I don't
What
get
does that
that.
even mean?
I don't know.
Like he's literally there to get like Tumblr girls to play Skullgirls.
I don't think anyone.
Skullgirls is a fighting game that's primary thing was that it's women. It already had that. Like, no, what are you talking about?
Also, it's very hard.
It's not that hard to mash the punch button.
Yeah, but that's not how you play the game.
That is exactly how you play as Big Band.
I don't think you know how to play Big Band. Big Band's really hard. Well,
I am
actually, apparently Big
undefeated.
Band's
I am currently 87-0 as Big Band on PC.
I mean, sounds like you're not doing it right then. Gotta do
Wait,
it better.
you said you
gotta lose
don't
more.
play it.
All right, so there we go.
Hang on,
there
wait,
we go.
wait.
There's the We Hate Anime podcast, guys.
Just gonna swerve around that one.
Join our Discord, become our friends, like us on Twitter. Frog, what's your Twitter?
It's in the description for FR0GK1NG.
And mine is Der Mothman.
DER Mothman.
And mine is cringy pronunciation. Annie Mikaru.
Also, I'm recording this the day after my birthday. Send me birthday greetings 2 days. Actually, at this point, it'll be like 5 days late by the time this is uploaded. I don't care. Get them anyway.
I'm gonna put his Steam wishlist in the description.
No, don't do that. I actually I have like nothing out there anyway. Most of them are unreleased games.
He's gonna
So
get
that's been the
5 people
that's
send out
been the-
unreleased copies of unreleased games.
yeah. So that's been the We Hate Anime podcast, guys. Anything else, guys?
I love you
I'm
both.
gonna try and make a new video. That's it. Okay.
You should
All right,
fucking
anything
make
else,
the video
Mike?
you're supposed to make for me, you fucking cuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
Anything from you, Mike?
No, but I'm gonna warn you. You said something, and I'm gonna perfectly cut it out. And you check the Twitter for that when it happens.
Oh, is it the I'm absolutely wrong on this thing?
No, it's something a lot better.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's the We Hate Anime podcast, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna-
see you next time.
Cut that
I
one
love
out.
you all.
I don't love anybody, really. It's been a long time since I've good love. I love someone else.
そんな優しくしないでどんな